Contemporary game design wisdom will tell you that there are three things one needs to make a really great horror game: good sound design, mysterious and strange enemies, and darkness. Lots of darkness. For the most part, I agree, and it seems so do the developers of Dark Echo, because they based their entire game around nailing these three aspects. Gameplay revolves around stealth and misdirection, as the player makes their way through the dark labyrinth that is the game's setting. And let's go back to that darkness for a second. I want to be clear. While most games have a moderate amount of darkness, with shadowy areas where guards and monsters somehow inexplicably can't see you even though you're crouching 2 feet in front of them, Dark Echo has a completely different kind of darkness. It's solid black, at least as black as your monitor can display. And herein lies the twist of the game. Because the environment is completely black, the player must navigate it through sound alone. That and the game's interesting visualization of sound that we'll get to in just a moment. Did I say a moment? I meant a second. When anything in the game makes a noise, lines representing the sound are sent out from the source, bouncing off walls and other objects, and indirectly expose the shape of the environment. If that wasn't cool enough, when these signals are sent out, their color will vary according to what they're currently traveling through or over. White generally denotes safety and neutral ground, blue denotes water, yellow shows switches and other useful things, and red surrounding a black sphere shows us where the monsters are. This is especially notable as it plays on our established cultural associations with those colors and conveys essential information about the environment. Further, the patterns presented using these colors and reflected lines are in themselves an enjoyable thing to look at, which is just what I like to see. Something beautiful even in its functionality. So we've covered darkness, now how about the sound? Every sound in the game is crafted to reinforce imagery bouncing around the player's head. Doors creak more loudly, footsteps are clear and pronounced, and whatever sounds the monsters make are very effective. If the player happens to wander into a trap or stumble into an enemy, well, that's probably the goriest soundbite I've ever heard. As far as design and implementation goes, I only had 1 or 2 technical bugs, but I had one major issue with their level design. So, as a player, if I'm expected to go through 10 or 15 levels worth of tutorial, I in turn expect to really know the mechanics. I expect the game to really build on what I've learned thus far. And that trust that comes from a game player and a game developer sharing a connection through their game is broken when you throw in a level whose entire gimmick is to subvert those rules that have been taught. It's really a bit of a slap in the face, I feel. And I think that that is a very telling thing about Dark Echo. It's very good, very unique, until you stumble upon 1 or 2 little issues that you have. It's definitely not a bad game. It's actually above average. It's interesting, unique, beautiful, atmospheric, all those other words that reviewers like to abuse. It's also very cheap, $3 at full price. It's on sale right now, and it's got a large amount of content. I have no problem with the game as a whole. I just see the little issues that it has, and I wish that it could have been just that much better. It was very, very close to being truly great.